Hey y'all, it's Jay here producing the show. We had some tech trouble and lost part of our chat at the very beginning, plus another edit around the 9-minute mark. Also, today Will Loden is out, so it's just BigBaby and Ben talking to Dan Hornstein. At this point, they're already deep into a conversation about what makes a great comic. Let's jump in and listen along.
I don't want to talk to you. 1,000%. Until you live for like a decade, I don't give a fuck about anything you have to say on stage. Like, you can go and do very clever, funny bits. You can be amazingly. I just don't care. It's like you haven't even lived long enough to be sad yet.
Yeah, they
be really sad.
They still believe in a fairy tale of life.
You need like a
20s.
decade of hurt on a problem on one particular person to stack it. Like,
you can be.
You gotta mourn some shit for a while for me. You know what I mean?
I need to see some wrist slits.
At least show me your sad live journal.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if it's you can be sad, but like you need to be able to be sad with consequences.
Yeah.
You know, like you need to have like
sad with consequences is elegant.
I think that's kind of what you're saying. Like, 'cause
yes.
Shit, I was sad when I was 15.
Yeah.
You know, but like I didn't have shit to be sad about because I didn't have any real consequences.
I reclassify that in my head from I wasn't sad, I was just angsty.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. That's
you have
true.
to earn real sad. Like, somebody has to shuffle off this mortal coil for real sadness to be invoked. It's either death or heartbreak.
Death, heartbreak, or
drugs.
Some kind of mad. Yeah, like some sort of self-destruction
Or oppression.
Oppression or a harsh trump. Yeah.
I don't have that one, so
yeah, you notice how we leave oppression off our list.
but I've heard about it. Yeah,
Me sprinkle that
I
in.
read about it. I read that there's that great book about it. It's called Every Bite Is a Song.
I mean, I guess it might delay us if we were the oppressors for somebody.
Yeah,
like, I could see that being problematic for us.
Very.
I'd listen to somebody who was an oppressor do comedy. They've probably got a viewpoint I haven't heard before. If you're like 21 and actively oppressing people, I'll listen to your set.
Just go listen to like British comedy. That's like all it is.
It's that and Jimmy Carr.
It's that
Those
and
are the
Jimmy
two
Carr
extremes.
and like the Monty Python guys. Like,
that's like the one thing that Monty Python is the one thing that makes me stop calling British people unfunny, because clearly they have it in them.
I
They
love
got
it
it in
so
them.
much too.
You just have to dig so deeply.
There's how do you
Mr.
feel
Bean
about like
will fuck you
Ricky
up every other
Gervais
time.
and stuff?
I think Ricky Gervais is a pompous ass.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
When he talks, it makes me want to punch him in the face. But like 1 out of every 10 jokes he constructs, I'm like, fuck, that was really good. I can't deny like he has writing talent.
He's good. Yeah, I'll give you that. He's a good writer. I liked him. I didn't like The Office that he did.
The British version is not watchable.
I liked a couple of episodes of that show, Extras, that he did, and then
It's a weird fucking show.
he did that. He was on that show with the guy who was Willow, called Life's Too Short.
I did not see that, and I'm grateful.
Is it? What's his name?
You have a microphone.
Is it?
I'm just saying, if you're gonna yell shit, use the microphone.
Dead air. No,
Still can't hear it.
he was the guy that played Willow and he was fucking R2D2 or something in Star Wars. Anyways, it's the whole show's about him trying to get work as an actor, and he's buds with like Ricky Gervais and that other guy. And so there's one episode I saw where he goes to see him, and these fucking what's his name from Taken walks in. Liam Neeson walks in. And Liam Neeson's all like, "Oh, I'm ready. I want to start doing comedy in my career." And he's like, breaks out this sheet of paper. He's like, "Here's the type of comedy I want to do: improvisation." And I'm like, "You brought a whole list?" He's like, "Listen, when Steven Spielberg asked me to play Oscar Schindler, I was like, Steven, I make lists all the time." And he said, "That's exactly what I'm looking for." So that's it. I have a feeling Ricky Gervais wrote that, and that's a funny fucking show. That's a good show. So he's got his moments, but yeah, fuck. I don't like him as a person. To get over it.
There's a weird tier of like super famous comedians that I just don't enjoy at all, and I don't know if that's just my natural hatred, because like I also love famous comics too. Like, I'm hyped every time Chris Rock puts out a special. I want to watch everything Dave Chappelle does.
Yeah.
But like sometimes people get elevated and I'm like, fucking really? Like, I don't get Sebastian Maniscalco at all.
That's
not even a click.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
It's like if New York vomited on an album. Like
but not even in that like ranty New York kind of way. Like I know Bill Burr's not from New York, but but like that kind of style. Old Nick DiPaolo used to be really good at that.
I really
too.
liked Nick DiPaolo too. That's the weird thing.
Like in the early 2000s, he was great.
When it's done well,
yeah.
I love like that energy.
I do. I like people that do stuff that I don't do in stand up.
Right.
And so same thing. I'll watch Chris Rock. His last one that he did after he got the Will Smith slap, like the last 5 minutes of that were fucking phenomenal.
See, I
What you
watch
just
people
said
try to
is-
figure them out.
What you just said is so weird to me because my brain works the exact opposite. Like, I do this shit on stage that I think is funny. And so, like, I watch the people who are like me because that's what I think is funny. Like, people who do the exact opposite of me, I almost can't stand them because I don't understand the choices.
So there's two different sides to that opposite.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love dark shit. Give me all the Anthony Jeselniks. Like, I want all of the people in my lane to see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I do that shit. It's because it's what I like. But I can't even enjoy really people doing like super clean.
Okay.
Because for me, all I can see in my brain is like, you're letting people put rules on you. You're letting people put boundaries around.
That's a different
thing.
type of opposite.
And that's why it's just like, it's just, I don't do that shit. I don't watch that shit. It's weird. But for you to be like, oh, I like to watch the people who do like the opposite of what I do is fascinating to me.
So the problem that I get is when I watch people that do the same style of humor as me, I catch myself getting into like Jeselnik's a great example. I tried watching one of his last specials and I was trying to guess his punchlines too much. And like a couple of times I was right, which was like in my head I was like, okay, great, but also do better. Jeselnik, like come on, dude. I'm a glorified open micer, man. You got more than that in you.
Oh, that's unkind to you.
And so I that's my problem. I get too much into like I want to watch the guys that do the stuff like that I do and try to deconstruct it too much or try to anticipate it or try to break it down. Whereas like when I watch people that don't do that, I can just sit back and enjoy it a little more.
Right. See, like when I'm more of a storyteller. So when I watch storytellers, I critique it too much. It's like when you're in a movie, once you're in a movie and you go home and watch a movie, you start watching how many times it takes to shoot that scene type shit. So when I watch people who do set up punch, I watch them to figure out how do you manage these transitions?
Yes.
How do you deal with the repetitive? How do you remember the cue?
Producer Jay here with another cut. We lost a bit here where they turned from discussing comics they admire to delving into the art of roasting and how some comics might not take it well.
They getting expensive.
It's
It's my third one.
I ain't even know my insurance information. Can you imagine having to call your mom and tell her you just broke your ass? Awkward.
From trash talking.
Telling her a black man broke your ass was crazy.
A black man broke my ass, Mom.
A black man broke my ass in college.
Yeah,
College. And then she goes, same but different.
There's like 50 people watching. Yeah, same.
A shiver goes
Told
over
you
her
to
body.
not pledge that fraternity.
Oh my God, Robert, it's happened. Told you not to put him in the Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts.
Oh, come on.
Oh shit, man.
Girl Scouts sell tag-alongs. The Boy Scouts do tag-alongs. That's the difference.
Can you imagine like a worse fate than being a Catholic Boy Scout? Because now you're getting it like, imagine you're a Catholic Boy Scout with a bad uncle. Now you're getting it home and away. And
you are a fucking survivor, boy. That motherfucker need to play running back. If he leave out of that shit unscathed, they need to sign him now to the Houston Texans. I'm just saying that boy is elusive.
Imagine not even knowing who to snitch on first.
He was like, man, well, can't believe they gave me a ride home when it was raining. Uncle took me trick or treating, but I got baptized by the priest. Who do I? I'm snitching on priest first, nigga.
You know something? This is part of the reason I don't do crowd work very often. I had somebody try to yell out the crowd about that joke I do about the time I drank a roofie.
Yeah.
And she's like, actually, that's not funny. I've been sexually assaulted on 2 separate occasions. And before I could catch myself, I was like, which guy was better?
Fucked them up.
From what you remember.
Honestly, because even though both aren't good, one of them is you have to rank them. You can't have 2 simultaneous. If you have to pick, you can't have 2 simultaneous worst days of your life.
Which one are you gonna go with?
Yeah. And that's why I shouldn't ask people questions, because those are not the things you're allowed to learn about crowds.
Old people in general. Which one of your rapers was more gentle?
Did one of them
the Virgo?
That's my fucking nightmare with crowd work too, man.
Oh, never mind.
Catching those double rape
somebody
victims?
gives me a roofie. You don't want people to misinterpret what the joke is and go, oh, that's not funny. This really awful thing happened to me. Because then you're like, well, fuck, I mean, you're a good enough comic. You can dig out of that.
Yeah, and my whole set is basically awful things happening to somebody.
That's
so
true.
There's not
yeah, it's a tone.
It's a tone. So you should be able. So that's the other thing about it. You're so good about getting into this is the act. This is all it is. So that hey, if this one bothers you, don't worry. There's something for everybody.
That theory is why I always open up with that joke about 8-year-olds eating cum. Because it's a base, you can't be mad at me about a cancer joke. You laughed at that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can always come back and be like, you let me go here.
It's
you can't draw a line here later.
Yeah.
It's I saw that interview. I saw an interview one time with the 2 guys that do South Park, and they had such a good way of saying it. It was like some Charlie Rose or some shit they were doing. And they were being asked, how far is too far for you guys? And they were like, we can't. We can't say, oh, this topic's off limit. No. This is the one that's too far. We can't go there. Because the minute we do, we become bigots about everything else that we've done.
Everything else.
Now, there are topics I will avoid because I haven't found a joke that's worth the squeeze yet.
Yes.
But it's not that I'm unwilling to go there. I just haven't found the way to go there yet.
That's the number one thing is as long as it's funny, shit.
It has to be worth it if you
has to be
on
funny.
that art. Well, you have to be sure.
You're in such a cool place because if you chart it out on a graph, there's the dark subject matter to funny. And the darker it goes, the funnier the punchline has to be, and you're smart enough. One of the things I like about watching you is you're good enough that you recognize that, so you choose smart punchlines, and you don't go for really easy ones.
The low hanging fruit.
The low hanging fruit. Yes, exactly.
People think I do shock, but I more do surprise.
It's misdirection. That's all it is. It's tension
and
misdirection and release, and that's what good comedy is. You're just choosing to do it in a darker kind of place.
While we're talking about styles, one of the things I want to talk to you about is of most people I watch, when things aren't going well for you, you're the most stay in your lane, double down, this is me person.
Oh man.
And I respect that so much.
It's because I suck at crowd work.
It's also I've seen you do a joke, know halfway through the joke it was gonna bomb.
Yeah.
It was your Family Matters joke.
Yes.
And I've seen you when it bricked the first time, repeat the punchline, have the punchline brick a second time, and repeat it a third time before you moved on. And I'm sitting here they're not missing it. You're just...
Fuck the airplane. Bitch, open your mouth.
You're the only other person I've seen hate fuck crowds that way.
I love it because you're you are so good at being so bad at comedy.
That was so funny.
It's not even a bad thing to me. It's just always being yourself. And I respect you don't try to change the type of who you are because that crowd doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And I like to think I don't either.
No, you don't. No, I don't think either three of y'all don't.
Nah, not really.
His show in a white room is his show in a black room. It might be a couple of different jokes, but he's the same comic anywhere you put him, and you are that. Like, I may not know which one of your jokes you're gonna do, but your style and your voice is defined.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
Your voice is crazy. I fuck with your voice. You really need it. I feel like you ain't get into like voiceover work a lot more. Cause I feel like you would take off and blow in that shit. Cause the energy in your voice is your comedy, G. And when I don't even have to watch your set, I could just hear your shit and laugh.
That's
because I your voice is you. Like that's just who you are.
You
bro.
understand inflection better than a lot of people.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that. That means a lot, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I would have had you on this podcast a long time ago. It's a weed-based podcast, and I know you're not particularly weed-based.
I can talk about how I used to smoke weed.
You're welcome to. It's not like that. It's just like I don't like bringing people into my apartment because obviously you smell the apartment. People who don't smoke, it can stun people.
If you're not ready for it, you can.
He come here and immediately lose his job.
I
Welcome to be a black.
They asked me like if they drug test me tomorrow, I'd just be like I was at a concert or something.
Is that a concert, sir?
Yes.
What's the vibe on Ben's podcast? Snoop's dressing room. It's just shit.
Oh man, shit's crazy, man.
I love comedy so much though, man. Like I fucking it's one of my favorite. It's my favorite thing to do.
How long you been doing it, Dan?
This is like 8 years now. You know, it's 8 years in. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get famous doing this. I don't know if I'm ever gonna make it like a career, even like if I'm ever going to be at that level, but god damn it, I love it and I really want to be good at it, you know. And that's the thing, I love talking shop with people. This is what I was reminded of. I was gonna ask you guys this earlier when we were talking about watching specials and even watching people that are different than you. I get this, and I have this bad habit where like I'll watch a special, doesn't matter who it is, and then like 3 weeks later I'll be like, oh my God, I have the best fucking idea for a joke. Yeah. This is such a good joke. And it's directly from what I just watched.
I like letting other people's specials inspire my topics. Because
That's
me,
great. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you gonna come out and have a trans joke? Let me see if I can write a better one. Let me see if I can write something like different angle, different completely from you, but if this is the subject we're talking about, let's see if I can speak on that subject. And that gives me like lanes to talk into things that I don't normally address because I'm like, oh, well, if he's talking about this shit, fuck it, I'll see if I can throw one too.
Hell yeah.
That's also how I feel when celebrities die. Like, sometimes I don't really want to, but it's just like, fuck it. If everybody else is going to do an OJ joke, I'm going to throw like 3 out there. Like,
see if I can be the best one.
Yeah. I just want to win the day. Like, I'm not going to use
a lot
this
of really
shit
bad
ever.
OJ jokes, by the way.
I had that same
I threw
problem.
3 of them.
You do?
I can't watch. Like, I watched the Earthquake special when it came out. The Earthquake got the same type of story, day-to-day story life, some shit that we take regular and make it extreme, and you be like, God damn. And I watched it a while ago, and then I went and did Houston as fuck, and I got a guest spot, and they just like threw me up there. So I was freestyling, fucking around my first little 5 minutes, and I did a spot. I did a joke where I fall asleep and I snore, and the goldfish be on the glass like, wake that nigga up. Shit's hilarious. Crowd rocked it. That took me to the next level. I was in there. Yeah, let's go. And then I got home, and I'm like, I heard that before. Keisha Hunt was on me like, that was some funny shit, nigga. After you did that, everybody's like, hey, man, that shit was dope. And then I got home, I'm like, the whole time, the more they said, so I'm like, nah, bro. I got home I kept looking for it on YouTube, and I was like, I can't find it on YouTube. So I had to rewatch the whole fucking special, and clear as day, here he is, hands on the glass, goldfish, like, wake that motherfucker up. I'm like,
fuck.
I was so fucking mad, but
bro, all you can do is act on good intention.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because we all take in comedy way more than the average person.
Yeah.
You catch 100 shows by accident just on the shit you booked on.
Being listening in.
And it's impossible not to absorb some shit subconsciously. The
It
only
is.
thing worse than what happened to you is what happened to me. I had a joke that was original. I fucking loved it. It was doing well. 6 months I was working this joke on the road. Turn on a what's his fucking Michael Che.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word for word. Same bit. It wasn't an easy place to get to, but there was a thing about like Sesame Street put their first autistic Muppet on Sesame Street. And my whole bit was like, so you're trying to tell us the purple one with the cape hasn't been autistic this whole time?
That's funny. That's really, I didn't heard
hilarious.
that. That's funny.
Yeah, it was fucking great. And then he does the same thing. We even have the same
Tell me
like touch
Gonzo
the
that hangs
stove.
out with chickens.
Yeah. Like, I'm all for representation, but like, let's not.
you've already done it, yeah.
Let's not rewrite history.
That's so funny.
You sure
And then,
about
sure,
that?
word for word, and it's fucking special. It's that
Damn,
bit. I'm like, I lost my autistic Muppet joke. Because now if I tell it, people are going to be like, oh, I heard that on the Michael Chase special. And I'm like, no, but I have tapes. But you can't save it because somebody else got it to a special first.
It's that I've had jokes that I'll punch out and throw on. I like to test jokes online, like with social media. And if it does okay, or if I like the wording of it, that's kind of like a good test. Like, okay, I could try that on stage. And sometimes I'll do something, and then a couple weeks will go by, and I'll see it as a meme or something like that too. And I go, okay, that's fine for online, but
Yeah.
just not gonna.
I
take
also
it.
hate it. When you write something and then you see it like 12 other places, like, okay, just because nobody else wrote it first, I just went to the lowest hanging branch.
It's
and
a
like,
lot of like usually if that's the other thing about it is if the joke's like an easy punchline, then it's probably somebody's already done it.
Yeah.
That's
See,
a good gauge.
I did a cool show that was popping, and I was supposed to be doing a set about something. I can't remember what the other topic was, but I ended up talking about Trump sneakers, like off the dome, just ripping.
Yeah.
First off, I got to talk shit about Rich in the corner, so that set the crowd up because he's ugly. So that got him laughing first, and then I came
shout out Rich Williams and his website,
Shout out.
www.yourfavoriteafrican.com.
Yeah. Shout out to Rich Williams.
Your other favorite African.
The other favorite African. No, just the
That website will get you to riches.
Will it?
Yeah.
No, really.
I own the domain name.
Oh, that's
petty
hilarious,
as
dude.
fuck.
That's so good.
That's petty as fuck.
That's so funny, man.
I paid $30 a year to do that shit.
That's super cheap.
Every year when the renewal
I would-
day.
yeah, okay.
It makes me so happy to click that button on GoDaddy.
If it was any more than 30, I'd be like, Ben,
Doing too much.
you did.
Yeah, it's to be on petty now. Y'all
but
should
like
just fight.
30, I'm like, that's doable. That's the
Yeah.
right level.
You want to
of
give me
petty.
$2.50 a month to tilt somebody for a year?
dude, that's
Yes.
so
If
funny.
it was at like, I want to say like 3204 a year,
Yeah.
I'd be like, y'all should just fight.
just duke it out.
Fight,
Yeah.
bro. Just get a man his fucking website. Slap him for a duel or
We've
something.
never even had a conversation about it. I don't even know if he knows.
He can't.
He can't
I don't
possibly.
think he knows. Yeah.
I want to do like a head-to-head like comedy battles again.
Man, comedy fights would be so great. Just
Like a-
10 on 10 minutes. Just
I want to do like, I want to double it down. I want to do like 10 behind 10 behind 10 behind 10. See if you can follow each other. So one comic come out, do 10. The other comic comes, do 10. The first comic comes back, I do another 10.
I love that
and
idea.
Another comic comes back, do the other 10.
Do you give him any type of break
And,
in between, like for
and-
rounds?
Nah, it's just straight.
I love it.
And you guys, and it comes with like bragging rights. You can call each other out. Hey, these two been talking shit online. You're going to see these two thug it out on stage. And they going to do the 10 behind 10 by 10, or they can do friendly, or we can do whatever.
Yeah.
So who in Houston goes first?
I know I'm going first. Whoever want to call me out. Call me out.
Okay.
But
I thought I was gonna-
I definitely want to run that show and be the host and the da. I want to be the shit talk. I want to go ahead and ante the crowd up. Like,
Hell
that
yeah.
nigga was funny, wasn't he? Talking all that shit. I don't know why he challenged him tonight. I hope that second 10 got something. Let's go. I want to be like the smack
like a
URL.
referee and commentator at the same time.
Here's the thing. You know who I want, and I want to go first. So I can go out there and I can spend my first 2 minutes doing his whole act. I'm going to just go out there like, what's up with all my Mexican people?
Oh, dude. First of all, I know who you're talking
about. Where all my white people at? Where all my Hispanic people at?
Yeah.
See, Houston don't have an edge to their comedy, man.
Oh,
Houston is just so inclusive with comedy. We don't have nothing where it's like,
we too friendly.
We used to be mean.
Yeah, like, you can't come here. Like, you can't.
We should have a
We
place
used to
where
be
you
a
can-
lot meaner when I first started. Like, comics were not nice.
Yes, sir.
We need
have
to
you ever
get
did
back to
Ocean
that.
Avenue? Have you done like a lot of black rooms before?
No. Can I tell you though?
We
okay.
need duck off.
Tell me.
I did.
Duck
I never
Off.
got to do Duck Off, but I did. I've done. I think I did Carrington's once a long time ago.
That sounds like
what was
the
Al's
accurate.
room that he had for a little bit?
Oh,
The seafood restaurant, Phil and
Derek's.
Derek's. I used to go there, and then but this 2 weeks ago, I did a show for Stacey Anderson.
Mo City?
And off of Bel Air. It was off Bel Air. It wasn't in Mo City. It was off Bel Air.
Sugars, huh?
No, it was a new room that she's got. It was a Mexican restaurant at 7 p.m. on a fucking Saturday night,
Ooh.
and they sold it out.
Yeah.
The whole room. It was all black crowd. And to Ben's point from earlier, I got up there. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be Dan. I have no other choice. And I had such a great set. Like, they were such a good crowd. They were awesome, laughing in all the right spots. It was so much fun. And I got home and I texted somebody. I forgot who. It might have been like Chad Alexander or something. And I was like, hey, I feel like I'm a better comic now because I did really get in the black room.
Yeah.
Like, it felt a little more earned.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
does.
Right?
It
like,
is.
I don't know how else to
definitely
say it, but
is.
it was
Harder.
It was
Black people consume comedy different.
black people are just so honest.
It's
when
easier,
in
but
those
it's
rooms.
harder.
It's
easier because you don't have to fight for their attention.
That's
if you're
true.
the one white person in the room, you have a 2.5 minute grace period where they're watching you.
That's true.
Right.
And if you can just jump on that 2.5 minutes, all right, it's going to be an easy time.
That was the goal. It was okay. I was nervous up until like the first laugh. And then once I got the first laugh, which is generally how it is for me, I'm nervous every time I go up on stage. But like once I get that first laugh, then I start to settle in. I'll start to slow down. I'll get in more of my rhythm. And these guys they were such a good crowd. One guy was there. He's like for his bachelor party and stuff, hanging out. And it was so much fun. But that's the thing I like is when I've done black rooms before, black rooms are they're honest. You know, they won't give you a sympathy laugh just because they don't want to hurt your feelings or anything like that. They'll
takes too much energy.
that's just not funny. Yeah. Or it is funny and you're going to get a laugh. I will say this though, my absolute favorite, like the best thing that can ever happen to me if I'm performing in front of a black audience is if I hear one person, at least one time in the audience, kind of under their breath go, "That boy's stupid." Then in my head, I'm like, all right, we're doing good. We're right where we're supposed to be.
That's a
yeah.
huge
That's-
compliment.
Yeah.
Ignorant, I'll also accept.
Ignorant.
You childish.
That's
That
stupid.
motherfucker ignorant,
I heard
bro.
that's one time at the improv, I was like, "That's stupid." And I want to find that guy after and be like, "Man, you get me." Like,
Thank you. I appreciate you, homie.
let's hug it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
I
bombed
loved
in a black room because I've been whitewashed lately.
been traveling
Hanging
with
out in Montrose too much.
Yeah.
too
So,
much Will Loden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got booked at Swaggers and went in that hoe and ate shit. Like they hyped me up. Oh, you going across state line doing roast battles and talking to the king. I ain't gonna call him roast king just yet, but I'm gonna. Man, I got up there. It was some regular lady. Man, I was just going around the room like I do, and then I jump into my set. Man, this lady would not let me go. And apparently she do this. And everybody just sat back and watched her do it. They was like, handle her. And I'm like, this bitch got a blade in her jaw. Like, I'm not, I'm not fucking with this. See, I'm a strong believer in that. You know, when we was all in school, we knew where the special people was. All of them got high school diplomas too. They just out here. having kids, going to bars, going to swaggers.
You're right.
Watching
Ain't
my
no
comedy.
separate classrooms for these people no more.
Nah, ain't no separate.
They're
Everybody's
just
out
out
here.
amongst us.
Nobody knows.
Some of them are comics.
I was going to say hiding in
Thank
plain
you.
sight at open mics. Recording specials their very first year in the game. Oh. I'm sorry.
It is crazy because once you think of that, you kind of gotta I gotta take my foot off the gas when I start roasting people. When I notice it, I be like, "Oh, there's something wrong with you. You're not really comprehending that I'm playing. You really think that I'm verbally abusing you.
Yeah.
So then I gotta take the foot off the gas and try to switch the subject because I don't want to cause it to be bigger. But then that make me look like a bitch and it bombs the whole energy of the room, especially when they still going. So I really now have to go back and take your head off. And now you mad already. You already loud. I got a microphone and you don't. So now that I'm taking your head off and I'm making them laugh louder than you talking, oh, your shit finna explode in my hand now. Now you really pissed off. And it just turns into a whole thing outside. It's happened before. And I don't like that life. I'm no longer in my 20s.
Yeah, I'm
a park close by the building and leave immediately type comic now because people are fucking crazy.
Bro. And I don't have time to be fighting and shooting and biting people because I'll bite the fuck out of somebody there on my ass. Like, hey, man, I can't breathe.
I have no choice but to fight as dirty as I can. Like there is nothing
There's no
fair.
such thing as a fair fight.
I have one move. It's called kick you in the nuts and run, and that's the best that I got.
Give me back my phone. I don't know you.
I'll tell you, like
that's my only move, dude.
I can tell you, I'm gonna get a producer pissed off at me soon because I found a new trick for gigs I have that are $50 or less, and it's worked twice so far. If you book me at a gig for $50 or less and you pay me up front, at some point early in the set, I'm going to do this thing where I'm like, look, y'all need to understand something. I'm getting paid $50 to do this. So if there's anything I'm doing that you don't like, then I'll put a hat on the table. $51 gets it done.
Nice.
I'll leave right the fuck now.
Yeah.
And
for everyone
twice,
else, I can keep going.
Yeah. And twice, people have paid me twice and I've left.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
He's like, you're really going to leave mid-set? I'm like, yeah, you paid me. He paid me. Fuck y'all. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out, cuz.
That's strong.
They outbid you.
That's
fam.
strong. Yeah.
Right now. That's crazy as shit.
It's so fun.
I don't know how
they laugh at it.
Like
90% of the time they think I'm joking and they laugh at it and it's a great moment. And then sometimes I get paid twice and go home early. And it's a great moment.
That's when you start to transition into more of that almost like performance art shit like Drew Holloway does. You know, I used to love watching that kid. I wish he'd move back. He would do like
he's at the secret group so much I don't feel like he's gone.
I haven't seen him in a while. I just haven't been
Drew
around.
Holloway. I keep catching
Holloway?
Drew.
Yeah, he lives up in like San Marcos now.
I think I just saw Drew at the Riot for the festival.
How was the festival? I didn't go.
The festival, I went for my show.
Yeah, we went for You Look Like, and that's it.
Okay.
Blew the roof off that bitch. That motherfucker was so
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Oh my God. That energy in the room we can definitely tell it was the first time that energy was in the room.
That's awesome.
Like, even the comics that was from out of town was like, hey, what the fuck is this? And it was like, what the fuck is this show? Who's doing that? It's like, how do you get on this? And I'm like, hey, this is Brian shit. And they was like, fuck. Paris Lachey asked me, you know, the lesbian chick with the shades on and the nice little fade. She walked up to me and she was like, hey, man, what the fuck is this shit? How you do this spot in between? I said, this, we usually run this shit like every month, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But this one is just for the festival, so he booked it, da-da-da. She was like, this shit dope as fuck, bro. I was like, hell yeah, I like that. I like when black people come in and be like, it's all white people on this bitch, but this whole raw.
Right.
Like, and it's crazy because I can't get no black people to win. That's crazy as shit.
That's wild. You look like, man,
you got to do better than J-Rock if you gonna get him through me, bro.
Niggas got to stop talking like they ready.
I abused this dude. He gave up mid-battle.
Fucked him up.
He was so bad they cut him off 30 seconds early, and I'm like, nah, one more joke.
Yeah, we got to do rapid fire on him. He
bad.
He fucked up the whole format. Like it was called "You Look Like."
Yeah.
He was like, "You like you." He said something like, "Your teeth so fucked up, you eat pussy through a straw."
Oh, that's old. Yeah, he's going
Yeah,
old
I
school
was
street
like-
jokes.
Old school street,
Yeah.
not in format jokes.
I was
Right.
like, and none of them hit. I would have stopped after the first one not hit and hearing me scream in the background, "You look like," I would have stopped then, but he kept going and he immediately
I just
got
kept
roasted.
punching him. I just kept hitting him.
That
Like-
show, I got to give you guys credit, man. That show has been.
Yeah.
I look at all the riot stuff on Instagram. Like I know y'all know this. It's across the board. Like the most views
Yeah.
on all of their reels are "You look like."
YouTube
It's
too.
"You look like" clips.
People like
YouTube,
mean
TikTok.
shit.
Yeah.
They do. And it's y'all. It's the people that are good at it are creative with it too. I'm not. That's the reason I haven't done that show. I haven't reached out. Will's asked me a couple times, like, when are you gonna come do You Look Like? I'm so bad at that I don't want to waste. I don't want to like sully the waters
That's the same
of the
reason,
show.
Like, Kenjamin doesn't do it. He's like, it's not my thing. It's not my like. It's not a thing I enjoy doing. I'm not good at it. It's just not my platform.
What I feel
Yeah.
like
that.
is there's more people that are afraid of the knife rather than holding the knife. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't mind sword fighting, but some people just don't want to get stabbed. Like, I sword fight with you, just don't stab me. You put your knife down.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how people are. But with this, I had to, like, even with Keisha Hunt, she didn't want to do it. I had to talk her into it. Hey, it's a comedic muscle.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
this is a different
It
type
is.
of writing. This is you literally looking at somebody and seeing if you can convince a group of people that they look like they do this.
I
Yeah.
will
Like,
tell
that's
you,
it.
as a writing exercise, it's a really good shift. If you're stuck with writer's block on your regular set and you just like take an hour and just write roast jokes.
Okay.
And then the shift back, you find new angles.
Switching back. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it takes you out of yourself. It takes you out of anything. Go ahead. Sorry, Jay.
I was going to say, it might even convince you that you could do it if you sat and did some writing on it. The writing process might be the thing that makes you go, hey.
It could, yeah.
That's something I actually do have a muscle for, or I need to build that muscle up.
Or work it out.
I
yeah.
would love to see what you and Chad did with it because you're both generally nice and kind of out of left field. Like you versus him would be such an eclectic battle that I think it would be.
Like a nice
He'd be
grudge
good at
match.
it. Chad's weirdly good at roasting.
How about a nice grudge match?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Pat Stay and what's her name had
A compliment battle.
Yeah, compliment battle.
Roan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I know Underground Street
Somebody did
Legends?
that. Was that Andy Samberg did that
Yeah.
on like one of the Comedy Central roasts?
And we could do
I
like
forgot who he
like a
was, but he
pleasant
gets
roast.
up there. He's like, so and so's here. He's a
Dude, that
terrific
would be a
father.
weird
You piece of
switch.
shit. Like
That would be dope. We need to throw one of those in as
That'd
a
be
switch
dope-ass
gears.
that'd be a dope ass little twist. We did the old guy, young dude.
Will would be great at that because he doesn't like being mean anyway.
Yeah. I want to do like.
well, I like your idea about the 10-minute set.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's,
yeah.
that's
Grudge
a big
match.
bit. He
That's-
already writ that shit down. We're gonna.
That's a really
yeah,
good show
let's
idea.
let's talk that out.
I like
'Cause,
that a lot.
I pitched it to Secret Group, and Secret Group was like, how are they gonna decide a winner? I like
I
the
know.
crowd.
The
They're
crowd
like,
picks.
Oh no, we want a roast battle. We was like, no.
And then
I
they're
don't
like-
want to
Yeah.
do no more roast
I've pitched
battles,
a couple
bro.
ideas to Secret Group before, and I just don't think they like a lot of the outside ideas.
Nah,
My idea that I had, we have enough. There's enough comics in Houston that are really good musicians that I've found that you could do half comedy, half concert.
Yeah.
And the way you run it is you just have all the gear, everything's all set up, but everybody comes out, does like 10 minutes, but you introduce them as what they're playing. You know, tonight on drums, BigBaby Green, right?
Yeah.
BigBaby Green comes out, you do 10 minutes, then you get to go back behind the drum kit, then whoever else is on guitar, bass, keys, whatever you want to have. And, if you have somebody that's good
Fill
at
out the
singing.
stage.
And then whoever's, when you're done, everybody, you play 3 or 4 songs that you learn together, and then you're done. And it can be covers. Who cares? You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like you got to
Yeah,
write
that's
It's a
anything.
definitely once a
dope
month
concept.
show.
People would
Yeah.
come for that shit.
I think it would
Or once
be a
every
lot
other
of fun to
month
do.
for
I
them to
pitched it
learn.
to Secret Group. They weren't into it. They
All
were
right.
like, comedy and music don't mix. I was like,
What? All right. So let me tell you my secret group pitch. It's a show called Security. What we do is you book it like a normal lineup. And the 2 youngest comics that's in the guest spot, you make them do 5 minutes heads up at the top of the show against each other. And the crowd votes. And whoever loses has to go stand in the parking lot and be security so our cars don't get broken into. All of us.
I like that.
the show starts at 1 a.m. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's funny as shit. We're gonna put Mackenzie out there. Get your happy ass out there in that parking lot and be happy.
I just want to put like a guard tower and toss Drake Campbell up in it. Excuse me, you're stealing a vehicle.
This is not your car. This is not the car I seen you get out of. This is no.
Dress him up in the cape like the Sesame Street guy.
You have to listen to me. I was on Kill Tony.
I was on Kill Tony. You should respect my comedy. I was like, all right, that was cringe.
So funny. How do you guys feel about Kill Tony?
I mean,
I wouldn't mind doing the show just because I want to see if I could do it.
It's dope that people get a platform.
Yeah,
it's dope that people get exposure. But if I can say this about all the people who have been successful on Kill Tony, respectfully, anybody can fuck for a minute. I don't care that you can fuck for a minute. It means nothing.
Yeah.
It means you found one workable joke.
Yeah.
Succeeding on Kill Tony basically means you can pick one of your jokes that work. Other than that, it doesn't tell me a fucking thing, except you can let some skinny white dude call you gay.
It's a circus act.
You can tolerate that, and you can stand outside for 4 hours, and you can do a minute.
That's it.
That's all you learn from Kill Tony. And you know what? Dope. I watch the shit. It's enjoyable as fuck. But as a mark for a comic, it doesn't mean a fucking thing.
I like watching it only on the episodes that I know somebody's on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, good for you. You know?
Yeah. I loved it when Will got the pop. I enjoy Enrique in costume.
Enrique's doing so good. I saw his last one where he was on with Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Dude, he killed it, man. Yeah. And that's a good kid. I want to see him do really well.
The problem is while Enrique's blowing up, he's also blowing up.
Enrique's been blowing up since the pandemic.
I'm so happy for him though, because that kid,
but he can't take another 50 pounds of success.
No, dude, but he's gained so much weight that you could tell he's genuinely happy or really depressed.
Yeah,
and I can't tell which it is. And that's such a fun story to watch.
Before pandemic, once everybody came back outside, he looked like the gingerbread man.
Dude, I remember when he started, he was tiny.
Yeah, he was small.
He was a small little.
He was poquito.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wasn't even sweating that hard. And then now I see his face on all these random ass flyers. I'd be like, God damn.
The flyers are wet.
It's all love, Enrique. It's all love.
You're my boy too, but fuck.
You just sweated through the printing press. How did you do that?
How did you make my Facebook screen moist?
I scroll by your ass, my phone shorted out.
I gotta put your fucking flyer in rice to read it.
I gotta put it in rice. That's hilarious.
Shout out to Enrique Chacon. Please book me on Don't Tell.
God.
Please book me on Don't Tell. The real one.
Oh, come on.
I want the please, man. Hey, come on, man. I need
so funny.
Hey, it's my time. Let me get that. I done seen who else been on that motherfucker, man. Come on, man. Let me get that hoe, bro. Somebody I done seen the niggas that been on that hoe. Has anybody in this room been on the real one? Nah. We've all been on the Mason one.
I've been on the one Enrique books, but it's been like a year.
I have not either.
Yeah. The last one we did, he did a really good job. He had just moved to Austin. He came back, and I like that the concept.
And here we are again at another edit point where I lost audio. Now they're starting to realize that something went wrong, and they're stopping their conversation about how it is to get booked on shows. And while they realize that my audio cut out, they're trying to figure out what it is to say to make it sound like we cut for a good reason. And Ben decides that we're going to put in an audio edit point here for some maybe profane language. Let's see what he has to say.
Editing budget for this week, so no more gay slurs, guys.
Wait, you sucked his dick? What?
To completion?
And I still didn't get booked. Yeah.
They call it don't tell, Dan.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to tell how you get
That's
the
hilarious.
spot.
Don't ask, don't tell comedy.
Y'all were talking about Enrique. I've got him coming up in June.
Hell yeah.
He'll be down here in Humble.
Oh, hell yeah,
Do you
dude.
have Enrique coming in his own month?
If you have any extra spots on that show,
Okay.
I would even like a guest spot. I just
Okay.
want to come hang out with Enrique for a bit.
It's a black room.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
We just went through that. They love me.
I know, right?
Never had a bad time. I get it there. It's going to be the worst bomb ever.
Ever. You spoke it. I kind of got to do that now where I say if I'm too nervous, I'll be like, man, I'm finna bomb like a motherfucker. And then I end up murdering.
Right.
So sometimes you got to just take that out. Yep, you about to bomb. Okay. And then you get up there, you're like, no, I'm not. And then you kill.
Sometimes I'm due for like a good bomb, and bombing to me is it's a really good health check for me because it what it does is it checks my ego.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just when I think like, oh, I'm getting good, or oh, I've got this, or I'm on a streak or whatever, I will bomb so fucking hard that it's like, no, you better go write some good jokes, dude. Like you need to sit down and really put pen to paper.
Well, like there's this expression in poker, and it's held true through all my life. Like if you look at somebody who plays poker for a living and you ask them about the biggest hands of their life, you don't remember the hands you win.
Oh,
I don't. Like I've been playing poker since 2003, mostly for a living. I couldn't tell you more than 2 hands that I want. I can give you crystal clear details on 100 that I've taken brutal beats on.
okay.
And for me, comedy works the same. I've had over 500 shows, but there's never been a week of my life where I haven't thought about what happened to me in Abilene, Texas, and how fucking much I wanted to kill myself afterwards.
Dude, that's it. Or like even if the whole crowd's laughing and one person's not. It's that one person.
It's never going away.
I will zero in on them.
See, I love that one person. I love them so much.
I love it if I can win. If I can crack them,
Bro.
then I feel like $1 million.
That's where my fuck it really kicks in. Because if he's not laughing, but everybody else is, now I'm finna make everybody else laugh at you.
Can I tell you my worst one-person defeat?
Yeah.
So I'm booked at some club in Waco that doesn't exist anymore. Slapsticks.
Okay.
And we're doing 2 shows. The first show, promoted the fuck out of it, sold 17 tickets. So I was familiar with everyone in the room. Front table to the right, all 20 minutes. There's this woman just sitting there with her arms crossed the entire time, just shaking her head at every fucking thing I do. Doesn't like me. Doesn't like Jesse. Sits there. Jesse says at the end, you're welcome to stay for the second show. It'll be $15 additional tickets, but we're not doing new jokes. So in between the first and second show, she comes to the merch table and comes up to me and goes, I just want you to know you're really not funny. And she goes like, there's people who are going to get better, but you're never going to be good. And then buys tickets to the second show.
Oh, man.
It's front row center. Except this time she's got a backpack full of margarita that's got a little Camelback straw just running through her mouth. And she's just hearing a joke, taking a big sip. Nope.
She would say nope?
She would say nope.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
In this show,
that's so bad.
There's only 12 people in the room. So there's even less places where I can go and hide.
Nah.
And it's just like the whole
crazy.
time I'm sitting there watching my career just die for 40 minutes, staring at this bitch. I'm like, you know that David Koresh fellow had a point.
That's
I too want to torch this whole fucking city.
That's fucking crazy.
Tell me you said that. That's a great line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
You know
Which
who-
I know she didn't laugh.
Nobody did. You know who doesn't like Waco compound
People
jokes?
in Waco,
People
yeah.
in Waco.
But at that point, dude, that's all out war. You know,
That
I've
one-
only ever lost it on
She paid
an audience member like
$35
once or twice. Yeah.
to come at me twice, and I'll just never like that. And the white lady calling me the N-word, men said, have been the most off-put I've ever been on stage.
That is, I don't know.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to be offended. Like the moral quagmire you're in when that happens to you.
Wow.
I don't know what move to make next, but like 8 of them feel racist. I didn't create the situation, but I'm in it now.
See, I've seen comics get heckled and crumble. Well, I wouldn't even say crumble. I've seen some like try to ignore the heckler.
That's usually what I do.
While the heckler's still heckling.
Oh.
And get off stage and cry.
Oh.
And they're like, this why I don't do shows in it's not comedy clubs, man. And then watch another comic go right behind them and make the heckler leave. like the heckler gets up and leave. And I be like, that's what you're supposed to do with a microphone. Yeah. It's not even so much as being mean to that person, but let's just put the spotlight on you for a minute since you want it. What do you do for a living? Why are you here and mad?
Yeah.
Let's figure this out. And if I can get everybody else to turn you into a piece of shit, I'm finna rock this bitch with no jokes off my list.
It's like, to me, I look at it, I was a college baseball pitcher. To me, every set is just like an at-bat. You're throwing your shit at the crowd. It's either going to hit or it's not. And when you get a heckler, it's like, okay, sometimes they're going to win.
Yep.
Sometimes you're going to hang one. They're just going to crush it. It's going to throw off your set. You're going to take the L. Yep. But, like, I'm a pitcher, man. I've thrown to 600 batters this year. Who gives a fuck about that one?
Yeah.
But it's weird how it sticks with you. I've never been heckled badly. I've been really lucky. Like, and I think part of it is the presentation. It's some of it's my jokes. Yeah. It's how I carry myself on stage. I get people talking to me. That's different. And typically I can ignore that, especially if it's somebody that's having fun and I can see that that's just how they're like engaging with the show. Then I'm very fine with that and I can ignore that. I have one guy I ended up taking what he said and working it into a joke, and it worked out beautifully. I did the joke where I say, like, I thought Amber Alerts were for missing strippers. And this guy was drunk in the audience at Secret Group one night, and he just goes, Mercedes. Weirdest fucking heckle I've ever had. But I worked it into a tag, and it actually is now. That's the funnier part of the joke.
Real life. That's a real life concept. They could think of Mercedes as a stripper joke, like a stripper name.
And it worked out. And thank you, drunk guy. I was gonna say I had a similar experience to what you happened, where after the show I was at the Joke Joint, and it was one of my first weekends. They used to give you a whole month hosting at the Joke Joint. It was wonderful. I mean, for all its flaws, I loved the way that they took care of new comics. Yeah, because I was a new comic. And if you were good enough, they'd throw you guest spots on the weekends if you showed up. Then they'd get you when you'd get to host for a full month. So you'd get 4 weekends. And I hit the fucking jackpot just by luck of the draw. The month they asked me to host, it was like Joe List, Tim Meadows was there, Greg Warren, and somebody else, Gary Veter, or Viter. I forget how you say his name. I said it right on stage, but. It was one of those nights, and Barry Laminack was the feature, and I don't remember which headliner it was. It might have been Joe List, but this lady after the show goes up to Joe List, and we're standing like 1, 2, 3, after the show. She goes up to him, she's like, "Oh my God, you are so funny." He was just starting to take off. She's like, "You're going to be super famous one day," Yeah. She goes up to Barry, and she's like, "You are hilarious. You keep doing what you're doing, because one day you're going to be so funny. I could see you headlining one day, like, for sure." He's like, "Thanks." She walks up to me, she goes, "Comedy's hard, isn't it?"
Whoa.
See, that's so brave to me, because like there's only 2 choices with somebody who presents themselves like you and has the energy that you have. There's only 2 choices of who they are as a person. Either choice A, you're a genuinely nice guy and it's gonna be okay. Yeah. Or choice B, you murder hookers and put them in the trunk.
Exactly.
That's the other archetype of that look.
Yeah. And everybody you get caught, they're like, he seems so nice.
Yes. Nice. He was a great neighbor.
He used to watch my dog for me, like.
He held cookouts and
barbecues.
Pulled
my trash in when I was at work. He pulled my trash can in when he pulled this in.
He brought my trash cans in.
That's a nice fucking guy, and he got 17 kidneys in his fucking deep freezer.
I don't think he did it. Nobody with those glasses could be a bad person.
Swab the glasses. If it's DNA on the glasses, I believe you.
Swab the glasses.
Swab the glasses. I know he need them.
He's not wearing those for show. Those are functional glasses.
Yeah, once you got that little crease on the side of your face, it's a wrap.
Dan Hornstein functional glasses
That's
would be great.
That's gonna be my album name. Functional glasses.
That's funny as shit.
That's actually a really funny name. I like that.
I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
That's such a weird place to hit the 1 hour mark too. Like we're right up on time.
Oh shit, dude, that flew by.
It does. Like it's a show about nothing, and yet we've managed to crank out an hour.
I had a really good time, man. I'm glad I
Dude,
came.
thank you for coming and doing this. I just love laughing with comics, man. Let's do this. Probably 2 weeks from today.
Okay.
This will be out.
Deal.
Or from tomorrow. Something like that. But
something like that.
Thanks for coming to do this. You got any Instagram, whatever you want to plug to the people?
Shows you want to
plug?
My
Instagram is at Dan H Comedy. That's it. I got depending on when this is up. Hopefully, I'll have some shows there, but I'll post them on Instagram. So definitely follow me if y'all aren't following these two guys. These are two of my favorites in Houston. Follow them. Follow MPH Comedy. Doing fucking kicking ass out in the burbs in the Kingwood area and Humble and stuff. So
entertaining all the white
dude, there's
folk.
so much cool shit happening in the city
some of
right
the black
now.
Folk. It's funny because he's
Killing
got
cigar
like
rooms and
Jay's got
joints.
like 4 venues, but they all are like completely wrong for my type of comedy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's strange that I ended up with a black room for a year. I did 4 Gents for a full year. You know, and now I'm doing the Soul Food place. It's another black establishment. And it's I don't know how I ended up with these gigs, but people love them. They're great.
Keep running them up. We need you.
Shit. Well, appreciate you coming and doing this, Dan.
Through Mr. Danny Dan.
Have to have you back sometime when Will's in the other chair so you can hear some more gay slurs on your episode. That's the element that's missing from episode 67.
He was with y'all. He got drunk, and when y'all were, where were y'all last? Y'all traveled somewhere.
Padre.
It was Padre Island trip, and he found a group chat that I was in with him from 3 years ago. Opens it, reopens it on Messenger, and just types like, "Man, y'all are gay."
Fucking Will, bruh.